Rahul.
Yes, ma'am.
Jagannadham Rahul.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by Jagannadham?
Ma'am, Jagannadham is my initial. I don't know the origin, but it is associated with Lord Jagannath, ma'am.
Okay. What is the other name of Lord Jagannatha?
Srinath, ma'am. Srinath.
What is the other name for Lord Jagannatha and Srinatha?
Ma'am, I couldn't recall at the moment.
Can you tell all Dashavataras?
I couldn't recall, ma'am. I should read about that.
Okay. Who is the chief deity in Puri Jagannath?
Lord Jagannath, ma'am.
What's the other name for Lord Jagannath apart from Srinatha? Any mythological background of Lord Jagannatha?
As far as my memory is concerned.
Have you ever visited Puri Jagannath?
No, ma'am. I'm planning to.
Radha Yatra? Have you?
Yes, ma'am. I have known about Radha Yatra.
Recently, 3-4 months back, there was a Radha Yatra in Puri. Have you seen at least video?
I haven't seen one, but I have read about it.
You should see that video.
Yes, ma'am.
Lakhs and lakhs of people throng to that place.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Katakinda Palam.
Yes, ma'am.
What is Katakinda Palam?
It's a local area, ma'am, where I was born.
What is the name of? What is the meaning of this Katakinda?
Ma'am, the area is a low-lying area, so it is often called as Kattakinda area.
Kattakinda.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Addanki.
Yes, ma'am.
So, any significance for Addanki?
Ma'am, Addanki is known for its local festival near Singarkonda, and it is also known for Thousand Pillar Temple, built by Reddy Kings.
Built by Reddy Kings.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. So, you belong to Prakasham district of Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So, what is the female sex ratio in Prakasam district?
Ma'am, I couldn't recall, ma'am.
What are the chief crops in Prakasam district?
Ma'am, tobacco is grown, and black gram is gone. Black gram is grown. In some areas, even rice is grown, ma'am, on banks of Gundlakamma.
Gundlakamma.
Yes, ma'am.
Why Gundlakamma? What is the significance of Gundlakamma Dam?
I need to read about that, ma'am.
Why it was named after Gundlakamma? Why it is called Gundlakamma?
As far as I remember from the local knowledge.
Your father is a teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
And mother?
Both are teachers. Ma'am.
Both are teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
What do they teach? Government schools or private schools? And what is their subject?
Ma'am, they teach in primary schools, ma'am, government.
Okay, primary teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
Father and mother.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Andhra Pradesh. Now tell me, there are a lot of defections that are going on in Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, ma'am.
If you see from the last 1 or 2 months, even today, many candidates are going and joining.
Yes,
So YSRCP people are going and joining TDP, and TDP people are coming and joining. So how do you see how do you visualize these defections in AP politics?
Ma'am, I'll take a minute.
Do you know that yesterday, today so many people joined? Are you following news?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in a democracy, backstabbing people's mandate is not it should not be promoted, and anti-defection law is somewhat addressing that issue. And secondly, ma'am, every representative has his own right to serve people, ma'am. If a party is not giving tickets to the candidates, they have all right that to defeat to change the party in order to represent their people and serve them. From both points of view, we need to understand the scenario, ma'am. Before elections, if it is being done, I think there is nothing wrong about that.
Okay. Okay, Rahul. So, what is the capital of Andhra Pradesh?
Ma'am, as far as the central government's list is concerned, it is Amravati, ma'am.
How does the name Amravati have come from?
Ma'am, it is the capital of Satavahanas.
I'm talking about new Amravati, not old Amravati. We have one more Amravati. Do you know that in India? Apart from the capital, in Maharashtra.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning of the name Amaravati? Amaravati.
Ma'am, I couldn't recall exactly, ma'am. But I knew that it is capital of a god.
Okay. Amaram means?
Mortal, ma'am.
Mortal. Nice. You have studied your BTech in chemical engineering.
Yes, ma'am.
In IIT Madras.
Yes, ma'am.
Define thermodynamics.
Ma'am, thermodynamics is a physical science which deals with temperature, pressure, work, and energy of a body.
Mhm. What are the subjects you read in chemical engineering?
Ma'am, I have read heat and mass transfer, chemical reaction engineering.
So I wish to ask some questions on chemical reaction engineering.
Okay, ma'am.
Explain about oleum gas.
Ma'am, I have read about it. I couldn't recall, ma'am. It is related to sulfur, H2 S2O7. I couldn't recall exact formula, ma'am. It is a poisonous gas. It is also used for extraction of. It is used in crude oil industry, ma'am. I couldn't recall exactly.
What is stearine gas?
Styrene gas, ma'am. Ma'am, it is a gas which is released during polymerization reactions. It can be poisonous, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And there is a recent incident, I guess.
Not recent.
Yes,
3
ma'am.
years back.
In Vizag.
Yes, Vishakhapatnam. The gas was leaked.
Yes, ma'am.
So why NSS was started? National Service Scheme.
Ma'am, it was started.
Why? What is the motto? Why? Motto means what? Why it started? What is the object of it?
To inculcate orientation towards service in youth by the inspirations of Mahatma Gandhi ji. It was the initial motto, ma'am.
You are a joint secretary, Industry Connect. What is Industry Connect?
Ma'am, Industry Connect is a area where I worked. It is basically connecting industry and academia so that the chemical engineers who are going to graduate, they'll be ready with industry ready skills, ma'am.
Okay.
So that placements could be more.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So most of the chemical engineers, they also go abroad.
Yes, ma'am, they go abroad.
So what are the opportunities for them in abroad?
I mean, Middle East, we already know that oil industry is booming. Is already booming. So they opt there, ma'am. And in America, chemical engineers also get recruited in oil companies and as well as in nuclear energy technologies, where America is working on nuclear fusion. And in South Korea and China, they're also recruiting chemical engineers because of technologies which are oriented towards nuclear fusion, ma'am.
Do you believe in God?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. I am an atheist, ma'am.
You are an atheist.
Yes, ma'am.
Then why do you go to temples?
Ma'am, I go to temples because my initial introduction to temples was done by my friends.
Is it not hypocrisy?
No, ma'am. I can explain, ma'am. When I saw the Madhya Kailas temple, which was near IIT Madras, the idol was so spectacular, ma'am, with two faces, both Hanuman and Ganesha. So I thought every temple has a unique element. And ma'am, particularly coming to the architecture, I used to love seeing architecture, ma'am. My visit to Mahabalipuram also made me ponder towards architecture. So I visit for these two reasons, ma'am. Finding some unique elements of temples and seeing the architecture. That is why I explore temples.
Who constructed Pallava temple who constructed Shore temple in Mahabalipuram?
Ma'am, Narasimha Varman constructed.
Shore temple.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have seen monolithic rocks in Mahabalipuram?
Yes, ma'am. Radhas, ma'am.
Radhas. Have you visited Arjuna's Penis?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain how many UNESCO World Heritage Sites we have in India?
Ma'am, it is around 108, ma'am. I need to brush up on that.
Are you sure?
I need to brush up on that, ma'am.
So it's just your... Okay. So now tell me, why do you want to become a civil servant?
Ma'am, I want to become a civil servant because I like to interact with people. I'm an extrovert. I like to listen.
You can do interaction with people by exploring new things, by roaming around.
Yes, ma'am.
For that, you need not become a civil servant.
Yes, ma'am. But the orientation of solving the problems of people by hearing to them made me more empathetic and more compassionate, ma'am. I found out that I had this kind of orientation in my NSS, ma'am. When I was working at grassroots level while teaching orphan kids. There I found this passion that with some kind of authority and resources, I can bring some positive change, ma'am. And secondly, ma'am, as an educated person, I aspire some kind of respect from society and a social security in my life, ma'am. Because of both these reasons, I want to choose civil services as my career option, ma'am.
Okay. If you get Jammu Kashmir cadre, will you work?
Obviously, ma'am, I will go, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You will go and work
Yes, ma'am.
as an IPS officer in Jammu Kashmir.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Ma'am, I have done my graduation in other state.
What is your first choice in civil services? First preference?
IAS, ma'am.
Okay. So even if you become an IPS officer in Manipur,
Yes, ma'am.
you are going to work.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the issue that is going on in Manipur?
Ma'am, the local tribes, ma'am, Meiteis and 𝐾𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧𝐢𝐧𝐠, they are having conflict, ma'am, regarding Meiteis getting reservation status.
Getting?
Regarding the Meiteis demand for the reservation status, there it has resulted.
Demand is there from long, since 20-30 years, Meiteis are asking. Then why recently it was erupted?
Ma'am, the High Court of Manipur has given a judgment regarding giving reservation status to Meiteis.
Regarding giving reservation status?
Scheduled tribe status to Meiteis, ma'am. Regarding that, the issues there. But there are many other reasons as well, ma'am. Meiteis who are living in the plain areas, they dominate the local Manipur politics. Even assembly is filled with Meiteis. So their cookies.
What is the population of Manipur?
I need to recall that, ma'am.
Will it be 1 crore?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
No?
It might be.
I'm just kidding. It will be, I think, more than 25, 30 lakhs, not more than that. Check it out.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Your mock is over.